Hello everyone, welcome to the second part of this series where we are discussing how to bypass Cloudflare's protection for particular website using ChatGPT's method. In this video, we are going to discuss method number 2, which is direct IP access method. So before moving forward, here is a quick disclaimer. This video is only for educational purpose. Don't misuse this knowledge, and if you are going to misuse this knowledge, then I'll be not responsible for your actions. Okay, let's start with the video. For simplicity, I have divided this video into the 3 parts. So these 3 parts are basically 3 sub methods that we are going to use. So first method is Google Like a Pro, the second method is Shodan Database, and the third method is issues from the cloud providers and brute forcing the IPs. I would like to add one note here that if you haven't watched my last video, then please go ahead and please watch that video first, because the methods used in that particular video, I'm going to take a reference of these methods in here in this particular video. So it will be good idea to watch that particular video first. Also, I'm going to mention the timestamps for this particular video and these particular topics so that you can jump around the video and you can save your time. So let's go with the very first method, which is Google Like a Pro. So in this method, we are going to use 2 key points. So what are these 2 key points? Again, these key points are from last videos, right? So the first key point is analysis of the cloud provider's history, and the second key point is analysis of historical DNS records. Now let's talk about the analysis from the first key point. So in the first key point, what we are going to do here is we are going to see the historical records of the cloud providers. Okay, so why we are doing this? Because we need to see which cloud provider is being used in the past. Okay, so what is the reason behind this? If website's cloud provider is a local cloud provider, then there is a high chance that they don't have multiple ranges of the IP addresses. So by this way, most of the time, whatever IP you are going to get is going to be the exactly from the same range. Okay, so the second key point is historical DNS record. So from the historical DNS record, what we need to do here is we need to identify the pattern in the IP addresses. If the cloud provider is local, then definitely there will be the pattern, and if it is not local, then still please try to find that pattern right there. Okay, so at least if you find that suppose let's take an IP address for example. Suppose first 2 part of the IP address is identical in 2 IP addresses, then you can say that that is a pattern. Why we are taking only first 2 part and why not we are taking the last 2 part? So you might think that what is the benefit here? Because if we notice the pattern in the first 2 part, still there is a second and third part remaining, and if we see the combination and if we try to calculate the number of IP address exist in that particular part, then you will find that that's a lot of numbers. So we cannot brute force the whole range, right? So why we are doing this? Okay, so basically what we are doing here, we are not going to brute force by ourselves. Okay, so what we are going to do here, we are going to pick that particular 2 parts of the first 2 part of the IP address, or let's say middle 2 part of the IP addresses, and we are going to use the Google Doc method to see if Google has captured any HTML page in the past. Okay, so let's go to the Google and let's use this particular Google Doc. So as you can see, it is returning the turn off results here. That means Google has captured some HTML pages in the past. So let's find some interesting HTML page here. So as you can see, this is the HTML page which I found little bit interesting because it looks like it is a valid authentic website with number of users. In the way this website is being maintained, I think there will be good number of visitors visiting this particular website, right? So let's do one thing. As you can see the IP address in the URL, and this is the website. As you can see, there is a name of the website. So let me search that particular name with .com on the Google, and let's see if the same website appears. So if same website appears, that means we access the original IP address of the website. So let's do one thing. So let's go to Google and let's see if it is there. Okay, congratulations, it's there. That means we just got original IP address of the website. So let's try to go other way around. Let's try to grab that particular domain name and let's try to find the IP address. So as you can see, it is returning completely 2 different IP addresses. That means what IP address we got is completely different IP address, and which is not available in the front. So that means we are able to bypass this particular protection whatever the website is using, and we are able to get that particular IP address here. So that's all about the first sub method. Now let's move to the second method. So second method is Shodan Database. So for those who don't know what is Shodan is a basically search engine, or let's say some kind of code which is kind of trying to ping all IP addresses in the world and try to scan that particular IP address, try to find the services hosted on that particular IP address, try to find the vulnerability exists for that particular services, and it is saving that particular data including banner grabbing, service information, TLS information, open ports, vulnerabilities, etc., and everything is being saved in the one particular database. So it might be possible that Shodan has already scanned that particular website in the past, and it might be possible that in that particular meta, so whatever the data is scanned by Shodan, we called it meta. So in that particular meta, it might be possible that our query exists there, so our domain name exists there, and what we can do is we can use that particular information, and basically we can try to fulfill our requirements. Okay, let's try to enter domain here. So as you can see, I am entering the domain here, and it is returning ton of results. So these are the ton of IP address, maybe 15 or 20 IP addresses are there. So it might be possible that in the very past on a particular server website was hosted, and then it is moved to the next server, then again it is moved to the next server, right? So it might be possible that the results you are getting from the Shodan are quite old, but don't ignore all the results, because not all the results are old, some of them are new also. So what you can do here is, so you can grab that all IP addresses, and you can try to find each IP address, try to open each IP address details, and you can go inside and you can see what information Shodan got. So let me click on the one random let's say server, or let's say IP address, right? So if I click here, as you can see, it is showing the basic details here, the general details, IP address, ASN, whatever. And if you go a little bit down, you will find it is showing the web technologies also that is used for that particular website. And if you go a little bit below, if there is any vulnerability in the that particular server or in that particular service, then it will be listed right below that. So on the right hand side, as you can see, there are open port listed, and for that particular open ports, just below that, all the fingerprints that Shodan got are listed there. So you can go through the all details there, right? So our main purpose here was to find IP addresses, and we don't need to go to in the details because we are not going any we are not recording any red teaming tutorial here, right? So what you can do is grab that particular IP address, try to send that request for particular IP address, and see if the website is still there or not. Okay, what if the number of IP addresses you got from the Shodan are very high? Then in that case, you can use tool like nmap. So basically how you can use nmap is, you can pass the list to the nmap, and you can tell the nmap what pattern you are looking for, and it will try to grab that particular banner, right? So this is how you can use the Shodan database to get the information about the IP address of the particular website, right? So that's all about the second sub method. So let's move to the third sub method, which is issues from the cloud provider and IP address brute forcing. So why I'm mentioning these issues from cloud providers? Okay, so if your targeted website's owner is using the popular cloud provider like Linode, AWS, and DigitalOcean, then there is no issue. But if it is using non-popular cloud providers such as Sakura, or let's say Contabo, or let's say Hasner, or any other local cloud provider, then it might be possible that they have some IP repeating issues. Okay, so let me add one more point here. Some popular cloud providers also intentionally add IP repeating function in their cloud platform. So why they are doing this? Because some people, what they do is, they will come, they will create hundreds of server, they will delete hundreds of server, and then again they will create a new servers, right? To just get a new IP address every single time. It's not good, right? Because if I'm creating 100 server and using that for a particular malicious purpose, and then I'm deleting, and then you are creating a server, trying to create a server, and you got the same IP address that I have created in the past, then in that case IP reputation for that particular IP address is not going to be good. So that's why, to protect the IP reputation, cloud providers are using that particular method. But this method can be used to find the original IP address of the website. How? So what you can do is, if you remember the historical DNS record method, you can get IP addresses from that particular method. And if you remember the just explained the Shodan method 2 minutes back, you can get IP addresses from that Shodan method also, and you can grab that all IP addresses and you can try that IP address one by one, or you can use nmap, the same method, and by this way also you can find the original IP address of the website. Our next part is brute forcing the IP address. So let me explain one situation here. Suppose I am creating one server for hosting my website, okay, and I have multiple services. I have mail services, I have S3 bucket services, or you can say self-hosted S3 bucket services, or let's say I have microservice architecture. So in this case, I need to create multiple servers here. So I have two options. What I can do is I can create multiple server one by one, or what I can do is while creating a server, there is a one option called how many servers you want to create, and I can just fill that number right there. So if I am using that particular method, it will assign IP address for that particular servers in the series. If I am creating, let's say 4 servers here, it will assign that particular 4 IP address in the series. Okay, so it might be possible that there is a 1 or 2 gap, but it is highly possible that you will get in the series. But don't worry about that, because we can cover that gap using the brute forcing. What you can do is you can brute force above 100 IP addresses, you can brute force below 100 IP addresses, and you can try basically to grab the banners using the tool like nmap. And by using this particular method, there is a high chance that you will get IP address if website is using microservice architecture. So I think that's all for this particular video. If you have any question, if you have any suggestion, or if you have any issues, what you can do is you can put in the comment box below, and I will try my best to answer your questions. So here is a quick announcement, guys. I have started my new YouTube channel where I will be posting videos about the AI and new technologies that are coming in the market. Along with that, I am going to explain what are the opportunities that are coming with that particular technology, and how you can use that particular technology to simplify your own work. So if you are interested in new technology update, then please consider subscribing my channel. You will find link in the description. Thanks for watching this one. See you in the next